Imagine a world where making the smallest sound can get you killed. A single footstep, a dropped object, even a child's cry can attract creatures that hunt entirely by sound. For one family, silence has become their only way to survive. But the mother is pregnant, and the baby could be born at any moment. Then, during labor, something gets inside their house. They can't scream. They can't run. They can't even let the baby cry. And when the creature starts moving toward them, they realize that staying silent may no longer be enough to survive. This is a quiet place. Our story begins in the silent, desolate landscape of what was once a small town. The Abbott family is scavenging for supplies in an abandoned pharmacy. The shelves are mostly empty, picked clean by survivors long ago, but there are still a few useful items scattered around. Lee, the father, is a practical and determined man. His wife, Evelyn, is strong and resilient. They have 3 children: Regan, their deaf teenage daughter; Marcus, their young son; and Bo, the youngest, a curious boy who is just a child. They move with practiced silence. Every movement is measured, every footstep placed with caution. Lee signs to the family to stay quiet as they gather medicine and other essential items. He places a box of batteries into a bag. The family must be careful. One wrong sound could mean death. On the way out of the store, Regan finds a toy rocket. It's a simple, battery-operated thing, colorful and plastic, and she picks it up, fascinated. She shows it to her father, who shakes his head firmly. It's too dangerous. The rocket makes noise. Lee takes the toy from her, removes the batteries, and puts them on a counter. He hands the silent, plastic rocket back to Bo, thinking it's now harmless. Bo is dejected, but he accepts the toy. He still wants to carry it. The family begins a long walk home through the woods, following a path they've carefully laid with sand to muffle their footsteps. Lee is at the front, carrying a few supplies. Evelyn follows with Marcus. Regan is next, and Bo brings up the rear. They walk in a single file, a silent procession through a world that has become a tomb. The only sounds are the crunch of sand under their feet and the distant rustle of wind through the trees. But Bo is still fixated on his toy. He fiddles with it, trying to make it work. He stops, looking at the rocket. He remembers the batteries his father set aside. Soon after, without anyone noticing, Bo turns back. He sneaks into the abandoned store with a quiet determination. He finds the batteries on the counter, picks them up, and takes them. He's just a little boy, and he doesn't fully understand the danger. He puts the batteries into the rocket and climbs a small bridge over a stream. He presses a button, and a high-pitched electronic whine cuts through the oppressive silence. It's a sound that might as well be a dinner bell. Regan, who has been walking further ahead, turns to look for him. Her face fills with horror as she sees her little brother holding the rocket, the sound echoing. The other family members freeze in terror. They are too far away. Lee screams, a raw, desperate cry of no, as he starts to run back. But he's too late. From the woods, a blur of movement. A creature, pale and hulking, with an ear-splitting shriek and rows of teeth, explodes from the trees. It's fast, so fast. Before Bo can even react, the creature snatches him and disappears back into the woods. The family can only watch in stunned, silent horror. A year passes. The next morning, it's day 472. The Abbott family has survived, but they are scarred by their loss. They've taken extraordinary measures to live in complete silence, constructing a life on their isolated farm. Lee and Evelyn have learned to communicate solely through American Sign Language, a skill they originally developed for Regan. They created a carefully mapped-out existence, sand-covered paths, colored lights as warning signals, and a deep, abiding silence. Lee is consumed by a need to protect his family and find a weakness in the creatures. He spends his days in the basement, tinkering with electronics, trying to amplify a signal to reach other survivors, and working tirelessly on a new hearing aid for Regan. He's trying to reconnect with his daughter after blaming himself for Bo's death, a guilt he knows she also carries. Evelyn is heavily pregnant, a terrifying prospect in a world where a newborn's cry is a death sentence. To prepare, Lee has built a soundproof bunker in the barn, complete with an oxygen mask and a crib built inside a wooden box to muffle a baby's cries. One day, Lee decides to take Marcus to the nearby river to teach him how to fish. It's a rite of passage, a lesson in survival. He wants to show his son the one place they can talk and make noise without fear, the waterfall. It's constant, loud roar masks any sound they make. At the waterfall, Lee and Marcus finally speak. It's a precious moment. Lee explains that they can be free here, that the water drowns out everything. He teaches Marcus how to catch a fish, a moment of normalcy in a broken world. But he also tells his son something important. He will always protect him. He promises to always find him, no matter what. Meanwhile, at the farm, Evelyn is feeling increasingly uneasy. Her pregnancy is weighing on her. She is walking in the house when she steps on a sharp nail that has been carelessly left protruding from a step. The pain is excruciating, and she lets out a sharp, involuntary gasp. She freezes, her face contorted in agony, and clutches her stomach. She's terrified she's just summoned a creature, but the distant roar of the waterfall has masked the sound. She stumbles to the basement to tend to her wound. She's a survivor, though, and she doesn't let the injury stop her. Soon after, Lee and Marcus return home. The three of them sit down to a silent dinner. Lee asks Marcus to go find Regan and bring her down. Marcus is hesitant. He signs to his father, asking him why he always takes him fishing and not Regan. It's a painful question, and Lee doesn't have a good answer. It's a moment of unspoken tension that hangs in the air. The tension doesn't ease. Regan, feeling isolated and alone, goes to the silo. She fiddles with her cochlear implant, the one her father built. It's not working perfectly, and she's frustrated. She takes it off, defeated. She doesn't realize that the feedback from the implant has been picked up by a creature that is lurking nearby. The creature's attention is drawn to the silo, but it finds nothing. Without making a sound, Regan is unaware she almost died. Evelyn is in the house and suddenly goes into labor. It's early, and it's dangerous. She can't scream. She can't cry out for help. She is alone. Lee and Marcus are out, and Regan is in the silo. Evelyn's water breaks, and she is in severe pain. She is forced to go through the most intense physical experience of her life in complete and utter silence. She clenches her teeth, her face a mask of agony, as she climbs up a flight of stairs to find a place to give birth. She has no choice. At the same time, a creature has entered the house. It can sense something is wrong. Evelyn hides under bed as it stalks through the home. She is in the middle of labor, trying to breathe slowly, trying not to make a single sound. The creature is terrifyingly close. It sniffs the air and moves through the first floor. Just as she is about to give birth, a branch falls on a window, shattering the glass. The sound attracts the creature, and it leaves the house to investigate. Evelyn breathes a sigh of relief, but only for a moment. The labor continues. Downstairs, Evelyn gives birth to a baby boy. It's a miracle. She holds him, covered in blood and sweat, and manages to wrap him up. She takes the baby to the basement bunker. The baby cries, and she quickly places him in the soundproof crib. But the creature is back. It has heard the faint cry. It begins to circle the house, looking for a way in. Lee and Marcus return to farm. They immediately see the red lights flashing, the universal signal for danger. They can't go to the house. Lee tells Marcus to run to the silo and to hide. He has to find Evelyn and the baby. Lee rushes to the house, dodging the creature. He finds Evelyn in the basement, and he helps her to her feet. She tells him about the baby. He tells her to stay quiet and to follow him, but the creature is closing in. They slowly move through the basement. Lee sees an opportunity. There's a grain silo nearby. He signals to Evelyn to follow him as he makes a break for it. They run across the open field, the creature in hot pursuit. They make it to the grain silo and hide inside as the creature bursts in after them. They are trapped. Above the silo, Marcus and Regan are watching in horror. The creature is inside with their parents. But Regan has an idea. If you want to know what happens next, comment part 2 down below. And if you're enjoying these movie explanations, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel, and your support really helps me keep making more videos like this. Red hot hash even one like and one subscription can make a big difference. So don't forget to comment for part 2, because what happens next is even more terrifying. I'll see you in the next one.